Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. We've had a little earlier stream today, but today we have with us Grandmaster Mircea Paligras from Romania, all the way from Romania. So, hi Mircea, how are you doing? And welcome to the stream.
Hello, Nandi. Good to see you here, and uh, uh, welcome to the viewers.
Yeah, so guys who do not know this, Mircea is a streamer too. He has not been very active lately, but he is a Twitch streamer and a very good one of my favorite streamers I've always mentioned. So I will put a link to his channel in the video description, so you guys can check out the link later.
Thank
Hi,
you. Well,
Prince.
that was quite some time ago with the streaming. I think I was more serious into streaming like 1 year ago.
Yeah, but you should be at least streaming, a bit, because there are people like me, some fans out there who would like to see you stream. So definitely
Thank
would
you,
like to see you stream out there. All
thank you,
right.
thank you. I'm trying.
So, Mircea, I think you've already played a few Olympiads, right? Like, how many Olympiads have you played till now for Romania?
I've played in 8 Olympiads
Oh
for
my God.
Romania, and the first one was in Bled in Slovenia in 2002. Because I won the Romanian championship in 2001, my first one, and then I got selected for the Chess Olympiad. Yeah, it seems like a very long
Uh,
time ago.
if you don't mind me asking, how old were you when you played the Olympiad for the first time?
Like I was 21 years old, going
Wow.
22.
Okay, so you kind of won the Romanian championship at about 20 or so, roundabout at that age.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
And
Uh,
yes,
and yeah, it was a nice experience to participate at that Olympiad. Then there followed more Olympiads, and I also played one online Olympiad. That one when India and Russia won shared
gold.
the first place. Yes.
Yeah. And uh, is this your first time that you will be visiting India? And are you excited about it if it's your first time?
I'm definitely excited to come back to India, but I've been there before, just not in Chennai. I was in New Delhi before, so just
Oh,
I know New
have
Delhi.
you
Yes.
have you played the Parshvanath or in
No, no, I
January?
did.
Okay.
No, I didn't. I didn't play official chess games in India. So this
Oh,
this will
okay.
be my first ones.
All right, all right. So you've played 8 Olympiads till now already. Uh,
Yes.
like at what age did you learn chess? And yeah, a bit about your chess journey, like early childhood, whenever you learned.
Yeah. So I started to play chess very early. My father taught me and my brother chess at the age of 4, and I have an older brother. He's 1.5 years older than me. Um, he's also he also played chess, but now he's a doctor. He doesn't have time for chess. So about my journey with chess, I went to a local chess club when I was around 6 or 7, and then I started to play some junior competitions. Um, I didn't get any medal in junior national competitions, but just immediately afterwards, I won the Romanian championship in that one I told you about in 2001. And afterwards, I went on to win it 2 more times. So I won it again in 2016, and the last time this year I managed to win it. Yeah, just this year.
Oh wow! So you are the reigning champion at the moment.
Yes, yes.
Wow. All right. So it's been a long journey. And like you mentioned about winning the Romanian championship, which definitely has been one of your best achievements for sure. Being a national champion is not an easy task. Like, what other achievements of yours would you rate as high as this? Like, one of your any of your best achievements?
Uh, Probably my best achievement was the World Cup in 2001 in Khanty-Mansiysk in Russia. When I got in the third round, I beat Yu Yangyi 2-0 in the first round. Then I beat Zoltan Almashi with 1.5 half, and then I lost to Nielsen, uh, Peter Heine Nielsen in the third round at the tiebreaks.
Mm.
And also a very good result was in the tournament in Isle of Man. I think it was 2018 when I got a good result. I was close to winning against Karyakin. In the end, it was a draw. But yeah, I made many good games there.
That's lovely. And um, how much I know a little bit. I have actually seen your game. I have the book here. Yeah, I actually saw your game in this book, the Grandmaster Guide, and I saw your game against Nepo. You actually beat Nepo, right? And other than that, you have also beaten Ding Liren and other such players. Um, so, have you, could you name a few more players that maybe you've beaten, the top players? High
Yeah, so that
favorites.
that was a good result when I also I played very good tournament in that tournament when I won against Nepo in it was in Aix-les-Bains in France, 2011. Unfortunately, I lost the last round there, so it was not so successful. Yeah, so about I won against Ding Liren, I won against Fresinet. That was the same tournament. It was the Olympiad in 2012 in Istanbul. I won also against Zoltan Almashi, well, and other players.
Yeah, and your highest, I think, it was about 2670, right?
No, my highest rating was 2657.
257. All right. So, are
But I'm
you.
coming back. I'm coming
Yeah,
back. I'll
that's what I was
I'll
going
make
to
it.
ask you. I was going to ask you, like, is your next target like 2700?
Yes. Well, it's 2700, yes, the next target, but in the meantime, I also want to get to 2670, yes, as you mentioned. I think it's a nice target.
Definitely. And how is the chess culture in Romania, like in general?
Uh, well, it's growing. Like there is a lot of interest nowadays in Romania for chess. There's also some programs with chess in schools, and yeah, I think it's things are going great.
All right. And how do you feel about your chances this Olympiad? Like, I'm also considering that you have Rapo on your team right now. So,
But he's not playing.
no, I read that he was going to be playing at least some days back. All right,
Yes,
okay.
he'll play for Romania, but I don't think at this Olympiad it's already too soon.
Too soon. All right. All right. So, do you
Yeah.
have any funny memories or anything, in any of the Olympiads? Like anything comes to your mind?
Yeah, I mean there are a lot of beautiful moments in with the Olympiads. I can't remember all of them. I'll just mention my last round game against Dimitris Vetushkin. Unfortunately, he died tragically. But back then, we were playing Romania versus Moldova, and all the other games in the match ended. So it was only my game that was left to be played, and my teammates they just left the playing hall because it was the game looked like a draw, and everybody expected it to end in a draw. And he was pushing, so I offered him a draw. I offered Dimitri a draw, and um, he declined. And he was pushing, and at some moment I just checkmated him. He forgot that, and he was very amazed that it could happen because he didn't see that possibility. And afterwards, I went back to the hotel. We were playing at the casino, I think, and yeah, there was some distance. We had to go by bus. So I went back there, and everybody saw that my game ended in a draw because, yeah, what else? So we are talking, I don't know, like half an hour, 1 hour, and they were very not so happy about the result in the tournament, but nobody asked me what I did. And finally, they found out that I won the last game. So it was nice.
Yeah, that would be funny, right? Like, I mean, after a couple of hours, and then you realize that the person actually won, and you were just talking to them all that while.
Yeah, we had an extra half point for the final result.
Yeah, that really matters. That's right. All right. So, which game would you like to show us today, Mircea?
So today I'm going to show you my game against Abbasov Nishat. It was played in the Baku Olympiad, one of the very well organized Olympiads. And he was playing for the second team in Azerbaijan. I think the organizing country had two teams, so he was playing for the second team. We managed to win this match, and so my win mattered, but it was definitely not an easy match. So
All right. Yeah, so
let's take a look at it.
yeah, put it on the
Uh,
screen so you can definitely show us the game.
yeah. So it started d4, knight f6,
Uh,
c4. Do you see it?
One
Does it
second.
work?
It's actually not Yeah, now it's working. Now it's working. Yeah,
So it's working, but
yeah.
okay, I'm trying to flip the board. I managed to flip the board to see. Okay, so I went e6, and he goes g3 here, trying to get into some Catalan at g3 instead of knight f3. There are some subtle differences. Well, I went d5.
Okay, as we go forward, what kind of player would you describe yourself as, Mircea?
Oh, good question. I mean, whatever the game throws at me.
All right. Yeah, because a lot of times the openings, to some extent, they kind of tell a lot about a player. So
Yeah,
that's
like I try to from the opening I try to be a solid player, but then the games they can go crazy.
all right. Okay, so d5.
So bishop g2, bishop b4 check. I wanted to include this check, and now okay, bishop d2 is the main move, but he goes knight d2, which is also very interesting. And
Castle.
yeah, castle, knight f3, and now I decided to develop like this with b6, just going for normal development. Castle and bishop b7. And here he just went for some simple setup with b3. He's got other choices. For example, he could go knight e5. I think this is the most popular move. When
All right.
I don't know exactly what I would have done back then. bishop e7 is one of the moves. But he goes b3. So he's just trying to go for some very normal setup, double fianchetto.
Yeah.
I went knight e7, bishop b2. And here I got this idea to play rook e8, because if he kicks away my bishop, then I want to put it to f8, which
Yeah,
looks...
I think it's very similar to like when you play Rossolimo with white against a Sicilian, you go rook e1, bishop f1, right?
yeah,
I think it's something
exactly.
similar.
I mean, I'm not so sure it's such a big deal, but it looks good to put the bishop on f8.
Definitely. I mean, the
So
bishop's not
why
doing
not?
much, right? So why not? Yeah.
Yeah, it could be exposed here at some point. And okay, he goes knight e5. He could, of course, he could try to play some rook c1. Then I don't know, maybe I could go rook c8 and then bishop f8, c5, and so on. But he goes knight e5, an active move. And now we started a series of exchanges. I traded the knights. He took, and now I went knight e4. Of course, I could have gone to d7, but it looked more active to go here on
Okay.
e4.
Mircea, like from a generally like a club player's perspective, like going back, like how do you make a decision of capturing knight into e5? Like, should I capture or should I not capture? Like, how do you make that decision?
Um, well, I was like, this knight was already becoming active here, and of course I could ignore it, but then maybe another knight comes, and who knows? I also don't have useful moves. And yeah, basically I calculated that I can take it and then jump to e4, and I think I assessed the position as approximately equal.
Okay. All
Um,
right.
but yeah, with if I leave this knight b, then he could get some tricks with it later on. So you don't
Okay.
want to leave an active
So,
piece there.
like one point you could say is because there's knight f3 and the knight recaptures, and again there's a knight in the center.
Yeah, but I mean, if knight f3, let's say I could also put a knight to e4, so it's debatable.
Okay.
Maybe he wants to go f4. I don't know. It's a knight here, so I just took it.
All right.
Okay, if I don't take it, maybe what to do? Bishop f8, but maybe the bishop is active here for the moment, or
Yeah,
rook
but
c8. But yeah, what
yeah,
to do?
because see, the reason I asked you is like there's so many grandmaster games that a player like me will keep looking at games and trying to learn. And in some games, knight into e5 is taken. In some games, knight into e5 is not taken. So how do we learn to when do we capture, when do we not
Well,
capture?
I mean,
That's why.
if I leave it here for some more time, maybe he can go rook c1, take, and put this knight to c6. Who knows? I mean, not
Okay.
immediately, but it could happen.
All right.
So
Okay,
yeah.
but you did calculate 95, 94, so you liked that and that's why you went for it.
Yeah, I saw it's quite drawish, and I just went for it. And now, okay, my knight is strong here, especially with this bishop, so he has to do something about it. So
Okay.
he took, and now, okay, if he can just trade the queens, for example, and it's completely equal and quite boring position, I could say. But he's trying to do something, and he went queen b1. Usually in team competitions, if you have white pieces, you're trying to do something, if not to play very aggressively, but to keep some chances.
Yeah.
Because if both players with white, they make a draw, then yeah, only there will be two boards with black, and it's not so pleasant.
Yeah, I get that. So he played queen b1, I think, trying to
He
keep
goes
it going.
queen b1, eyeing this pawn on e4, so he just wants to take the pawn. And I had to foresee how to defend my pawn or what to do here. and it's an only move, queen to d2. This is the only move to, because otherwise he just takes the pawn and it's over.
Yeah, right.
It's a solid pawn up. But now he cannot take the pawn because this bishop is hanging.
Right.
And I'm also threatening to take
On
on e2, yeah.
All right.
So now he,
Mircea, just a
yeah,
second. I'll just play the variation just for the viewers. So if bishop into e4 now, the point is bishop e4, queen e4, and this bishop is hanging. And then you would be up a piece, right? So I'll just,
yeah,
yeah. So that's why queen d2 was played.
yeah, exactly. And here he played e3 to, of course, just defend this pawn. And later, I mean, I could land into trouble because the queen here could be exposed. I mean, I have to be sure that I don't lose my queen. Or also this bishop at some point could get trapped. He could do something like a3 first to force me to move the bishop away. But let's say I put the bishop to e7. Now it makes more sense. I think it's more active here than on f8.
Yeah.
Slightly more active. And okay, e3, rook d8, I think with normal position, but in the game, my bishop on b4 was actually active. Here is not so active, but still the position is about equal. I don't see how he can trap my queen.
Okay.
So going back to it, he goes e3, which is normal. And of course, I want to get control over the open file. So rook a d8. And now he played bishop d4, trying to cover the d file. Of course, he could have played, let's say, rook to d1 with an equal position, but he was trying to play more interesting to get something.
Bishop d4 is also equalish, right? Or is this like a minor error or anything with the way you're saying?
No, I think it's still okay. It's still okay, yeah. I mean, it's
Okay.
covering the file, and he's threatening to play rook to d1.
Okay.
Well, he's also threatening first things first.
Bishop
He's threatening
e4.
because the bishop is not the bishop on b2 is not attacked anymore, and he wants to take on e4. And as I said, if this pawn drops, it's very
Yeah.
bad for me. And here I played c5. I wanted to remove this bishop from this position as soon as possible. But okay, this bishop, my own bishop, could possibly get trapped after this because I didn't have time to bring it back.
Yeah.
Here, okay, it's an interesting moment, and this is just after the opening. It looked drawish, but now we got into some very concrete lines, and it was possible to
Capture.
give up an
Okay.
exchange, but you never know with this. And the point is, if he just takes, then I can take back. And this actually looks great for black because this pawn is going to fold. I have a threat maybe of bishop c3. So yeah, it's a very
Yeah.
good position
So
for
what
black.
should white have done then instead of not capturing? Capturing, it seems like you're better.
Yeah. He has this move a3, and then he gives an option also to go rook
Oh.
a2. Yeah, it's
Okay.
not so easy. That's why I
Okay.
played c5. Bishop c3, and now he goes rook a2.
Two.
And yeah, now he wants to capture, but now it's different. And probably I have to give up the queen.
We'll have rook
And
d2 here or rook d3. Okay.
rook d2, he goes here, and that again attacks
Ah,
my
the pawn
pawn.
is attacked. Okay.
So I'd rather go rook d3 because the queen here is maybe a bit more misplaced. And
Yeah.
yeah, I
So
think here I have the d file, so I can take full control over the d file. Also, this bishop cannot be attacked anymore. So I have
But
compensation here.
you chose the c5 move over rook d4. You made that choice.
Well, now when we analyze, it's easy, but during the game,
Yeah.
it wasn't clear at all to me what is going on here, and that's why
Yeah,
I
of
said,
course.
okay, c5 just to get rid of this bishop. So he goes rook d1, queen e2, and now he started attacking my queen to f3, and here he went wrong. He put this bishop back to b2.
Well, it seems like a very natural move, right? Bishop b2.
Yes, it is. It is a natural move. I mean, the bishop is under attack and it only has one square, so just put it to that square. But it fails tactically. The correct way was to attack my queen once again, and then okay, it's about equal. I mean, I can repeat the moves with queen e2, or I
Okay.
could go to h5, but yeah, it's not possible. What happened in the game is not possible anymore. So probably here we're just trading on d1 and yeah, the equal position. Also, I have to say that my bishop on b4, it looks like it could get trapped, but it's not so easy to get this bishop.
Yeah, it looks that way for sure after c5.
Yeah, it's a risk. It's a risk, but yeah, I didn't see how. I mean, a3, bishop a5, and then there is no b4. So yeah, and he just goes back to b2, and here it is a nice tactical trick. Well, it's not difficult. Uh,
It's I just saw it right now. I just happened to see the score sheet. So yeah, it's not a move where you just consider it, right? Any player will like it'll not be intuition. I'm going to go and play that move. It's not something that will come naturally to anybody's mind. It's definitely a
yeah,
very
but
nice move.
yeah, in this, I mean, it just works in this position. So I played bishop to e1. Now because f2 is a weak square, but only because my queen is on f3 and his rook on d1 is hanging, for example. Uh,
Okay, so is this the no? But there could be if the bishop was on g2, queen was on e2, it was not working. There was rook e1. Yeah, so if the bishop was on g2
yeah,
and the queen
exactly.
was on e2, then it would not work. That's what you were saying. Bishop f1. Okay, correct.
Yeah, and
Then it
also
would
I will
not
show
work.
you why the rook on d1 is hanging, because if he goes queen c2 to just protect f2, then I can go
Rook
rook
d1,
takes,
bishop f2,
and bishop,
and
yeah,
queen d1. Yeah.
and
So
queen
I
d1.
think
The
that
rook is hanging.
the bishop g2, bishop f1, that one square makes a difference to why this move is working. Like
Yeah,
your
it
just once
uh,
one move, one little move, just that bishop f1 to attack your queen, which looked very natural, is actually costing him now in this game.
yeah, it makes all the difference. Yeah. So what to do? He took, but now I have rook d2. So now because this his queen is misplaced actually on b1, it's at the edge of the board, and he cannot really defend on f2. The only way is
Give
to
up the
give back
piece. Yeah.
the piece. Yes, now I take. He has to take this rook because it's a very active rook, and queen takes. And now we have this position, but we can see I will take control over the d file. We have opposite colored bishops, but also he has weaknesses on the king side.
Yeah. You can also go with h5, h4. I mean, those ideas are also there, right? I mean,
Yeah,
considering the
exactly,
light
exactly,
squares are weak.
exactly. I can go h5, h4. I will
Yeah.
definitely put a rook on the d file.
D8.
I could put the queen to f3, for example. So we'll see this in the game. Uh,
Okay.
Bishop c3. First of all, he has to move this bishop away. Like before it was hanging, now it's also hanging. So if he really wants to move the queen, the bishop
Yeah, I was thinking
has to
of
go
queen
there.
d1, but then I saw the bishop was hanging. So I think now maybe queen f1, queen d1. Like queen d1, I thought is to trade queens, like it's
Yeah,
forcing it.
like queen d1, it's what he wants to do. But of course,
Rook
it's my
d8.
turn. So I'll play rook d8. Yeah, I want to take the file. Queen f1, and now queen f3. Queen g2. Well, also white's problem is that he's very passive. He has uh, no good idea to play here.
Well, he'll be happy to
Um,
trade queens, if possible.
uh, yeah, but it's still a very bad position even after he trades the queens. So he tried to do it with queen g2.
Okay.
And here I played queen e2. Um, it wasn't clear to me whether I should trade the queens or not. Probably it was possible to go rook d3 and we could get a similar position later on. Like if he takes, I can take, and now this bishop opens up. I can have ideas like h5, bring my king over there, and again it's very difficult for him to show any counterplay.
Okay. Okay, so you went queen e2
So
though
I went
because
we need to yeah
it's like you're
to keep
just
the
you're showing your dominance in the position because he doesn't have anything to do.
yeah, and I mean I didn't know during the game it's not so clear what you shouldn't do. So uh, you can compare different lines, but otherwise, yeah, it definitely looks very good. Also, if I exchange the queens, but what if I keep the queens? Maybe I can get an attack over his king. So
Yeah,
that
that's
was
true.
also very tempting. Well, he has to wait basically, but because of this bishop on c3, I cannot really go rook d2. So rook here, bishop a1, and now I played h6. I want to make sure I don't get if I lose control over the d file, just that nothing happens to my king, you
Yeah.
know. Bishop here, rook d2, bishop here. And now another decision. I mean, my position looks great. It's winning, but I mean, I had to win it. And here I decided to go back to d3 to just keep all the advantages in the position. But it was possible to take this pawn. But
Like
after rook d1, you see, I can give him some counterplay. And yeah, I'm a pawn up, but he's got some counterplay already. Here we can see that it was very useful to have h6. But
okay.
still, you never know. He gets the
Uh,
file, then who knows? Later on, the queen could come, and yeah,
so
maybe
basically,
it's not so easy.
when I asked you like what kind of player you are, this is what I was referring to. Like, are you a player who's going to torture your opponent, or you just going to say, okay, take a nice smooth death? So you are the player who's going to torture your opponent, and you've gone rook d3. Okay,
Well, in
rook
this
d3.
position, yeah, but in other positions, I would probably go for an attack or something. Even here, I think I went for an attack. So bishop b2. Yeah, he has to wait. Okay, then I try to improve my position. This the bishop looks better here. Maybe at some point I can go b5. Who knows?
Yeah,
Probably
bishop
not.
c6. But you're improving your position. That's what grandmasters do. All right. So
Yeah. And here, okay, queen e2, so he's offering a queen trade, and I went queen f3. So here, like before, I gave him this chance to trade the queens. But if he trades the queens, then the king could have a nice path to f5 and activate, and then I'll also play
yeah,
h5 and so on.
I think the only difference between earlier queen f3 and this queen f3 is your pieces have improved. Your rook is on d3, your bishop is on c6, you got h6. But earlier that was
Even
not there, right? It was better. You
even
mentioned it was better, of course. But this is like a slight improvement to that queen f3, which you showed earlier. Slight
yeah, but
improvement.
even then I could have played rook d3. So probably I think my it was just that my pawn was on h6, but after the queen trade, I think I prefer my pawn to
Pawn on
h5
h5.
anyways.
Yeah.
It's not so much. Yeah, the bishop on c6. Yeah, it's not so much, but
I
it's
also
there.
had
Yeah.
another question. When you played your
Yes.
Olympiad, what is the time control? Do you have a second time control after 40 moves?
Yeah. I think we have. Yes, there
After
is.
40 moves, right? I think because this is
After 40 moves.
move 32, so I just came to my mind. Usually Olympiad, I think you will have a double time control.
Yeah, I don't. Well, the last Olympiad I played was in 2018, so that was like 4 years ago. Because
Yeah.
in 2020 there was no Olympiad. So yeah, I kind of forgot about this, but yeah, we get some extra time after 40 moves.
Okay,
So
so I think you
h5.
you did what you said. You would prefer your pawn on h5. Okay.
Yeah, it looks better. King h2, and then a5. I was trying to create a weakness here with a4, and in this kind of positions, if you
Yeah.
manage to create a second weakness, it's an easy win.
Yeah.
And now um, he changed his mind about trading queens. Queen c2, a4, rook g1. Maybe he was trying to play some g4 or something, but it's not really working. Okay, now I took on b3. So now, because I created this second weakness, now he cannot really trade the queens. And also, there's nothing
Yeah.
for his rook to do on the a file, because if he moves away, then I just have rook d1 and it's checkmate. But yeah, on the other hand, I need to do something. So I need to find a way to make progress in this position, and I played b5 here.
Activating your
I
final piece. I was just
Yeah,
waiting. I was just
yeah. I mean,
waiting.
this this bishop looks very strong, but I needed past his pawns to get into the white camp. He took, and bishop takes. And he can, of course, he can never take on c5 because f2 is hanging big time. So, I mean, here probably I go rook d2. So, bishop c3. Yeah, and now rook d5, because I want to bring this bishop into play.
Maybe bishop e2 is the idea? Okay, I don't know. I'm just guessing.
Yeah, bishop e2 looks very strong, because then f2 pawn is under attack, and he probably has to go bishop e1. Then I can go rook d1, and again with the threat to take on e1 and take on f2 and so on. So he has to parry this rook e1,
Okay, one.
rook d7. Well, I have to find another plan now, but he's stuck with his pieces now. He has to keep this rook here, and yeah, also his queen. He goes h4, king h7. I wasn't trying to get my king over here, but I saw that who knows, in case he gets on the 8th rank, it won't be with check.
It would be nice to
So
get the king there.
yeah, like like Short did in one of his games, but
Yeah.
yeah. Uh, well, I could if I wanted to. He goes rook g1 now, and finally he allows me. I mean, he's basically running out of moves here.
But what would you have done? Suppose that was not allowed. Suppose king
Uh,
g1, let's say king g1 or queen b2 or something of that sort was played. Like, how would you have?
Yeah, maybe I come with the king. I don't remember exactly what my plan was, but it's definitely very nice
Okay.
and very easy to play position by black. Um,
Okay. No, because the reason I'm asking you this is, you know, a lot of times, a lot of players, they get these kind of positions, but then we know it's winning. We know that this is completely winning. But then how do we win it? The opponent sits defending, does not allow anything like any small threat, and then it's not easy. But you see, grandmasters will still squeeze through and still get in and get the win. So that's
maybe
why.
I think it could be a good idea. Let's say bring the king here, then maybe I could push even g5 or so on, and simply start an attack on the white king. I mean, I could do that for lack of a better idea. But I think, yeah, the position is just winning for black. So rook g1, but now bishop e2 happened, and f2 pawn is under attack. Bishop to e1, rook d1. Now I'm threatening rook e1,
Yeah, rook e1,
queen
queen
c3.
c3.
He's trying to defend like that, but well, I mean, the position is just lost because now I can activate the pieces even more, and he has to stay like this. King h3, bishop d3. Yeah, now he took on c5. I took on b3. Queen e7. He was probably seeking some counterplay here, so you can see that white's position is completely hopeless, even if now there are only pawns left
Like,
on
did you
one
consider
side of the
move?
board.
If you go move back, did you consider move like rook e1 or anything in that position? I'm just asking, like
Uh,
in general, like because that was the idea, right? Any like rook e1 will come to anyone's mind in this kind of position.
yeah. I definitely did. It's probably winning also. Queen f2. Um,
I thought queen c3 or queen c queen
Queen
b4
c3
queen
or
c1
queen
queen
c1
c1.
could also
Yeah.
be against this. And if I bring my bishop here, probably he can take the
Yeah,
bishop.
that's the only problem. The rook moves, I think
And
that's just mate.
yeah, and here we can see that why I wanted to get rid of this b
The
pawn,
pawn. Yeah,
because now this pawn looks quite dangerous.
definitely.
So yeah,
Okay.
so that's why I said, okay, maybe I can go back to that trick later on, but first of all to get rid of the pawn. And well, maybe he could sit and try to defend, but I think it's hopeless. His position is just lost. So he was trying some counterplay. Rook b1, queen g5, maybe some trying to go for some perpetual. But here
Oh
I
yeah.
have this move, queen e2.
I thought queen f4 was the idea there. I mean, trying to trade, but I don't think it's working, but probably like, yeah,
Uh,
I think
well,
it's,
queen, yeah, it's a good idea. Yeah, queen f4, because then if I don't trade, then queen f7. Yeah, but he's not in time.
yeah,
Uh,
you played queen
he's not in
e2.
time. Queen e2, and now the bishop is lost. So that was it. There is no time to go queen f4 anymore because I just take the bishop. So he played g4, and now I took the bishop. And yeah, that was it. There is no, I mean, he resigned here. If he takes, I can take, and check, king g8, and there is no perpetual.
Honestly, I like these kind of games. I like the solid where you know you grind and squeeze the opponent and win. I am like a Karpov, Rubinstein, Capablanca kind of fan. Like I've always liked them since my childhood. So putting that forward, who did you idealize when you were younger, or who are your favorite players now? Like, or earlier, let's say
Uh,
earlier. You know, who
Earlier,
did you
yeah,
follow? Yeah.
yeah. Well, I was, and I'm still a big fan of Gary Kasparov. because
Okay.
when I was younger, he was playing and he was dominating. He was winning tournament after tournament. So of course I liked how he played. And nowadays I like I'm following all these major tournaments. Um, I mean, I like Magnus Carlsen, for example, how he's playing, but even the other players they play some great chess.
Um, okay, so Gary Kasparov, and if you have to consider any Indian player, since you're coming to India, I'm going to ask you this question. Like anybody, like, who do you, who would you say you like amongst the Indian players?
I mean, there are so. I mean, yeah, there are many now, many young players and very strong, very talented. It's difficult for me to single out any of them. They are like all very good, and they are growing in chess, and they are very strong now, and they'll be even stronger.
All right. And are you planning to play chess, all the more, just like how Vishy Anand is playing even now and doing so well? Like, is that what you want to do too? I mean, play at the top level even later on? Or do you
Uh,
have
yeah,
plans of retiring earlier, like maybe Magnus Carlsen has?
I don't know. I didn't feel I didn't think about retiring, but I like to be competitive. So I'll play like professionally as long as I feel like I can improve my chess and uh, I'm doing I'm doing well with chess. But okay, at some age, if I see that okay I'm blundering or my chess is not so great or I don't have time for chess so much, probably I will do something else still related to chess, like some chess schools, some I don't know,
Oh yeah,
uh,
considering that, do
streaming
you
maybe.
streaming for sure? You should not leave that. And otherwise, do you coach? Do you teach chess? As of
Uh,
now?
yes, I have a few students, but not many. Last year I wrote a course for chessable with about the Benoni. It was quite successful. I think more players took up the Benoni after that.
Okay, so we'll tell the chat again. If you want to learn the Benoni, we have Mircha's course on Chessable. You should definitely check it out. And like the chat wants to know if any. I mean, this is a bit too objective, but like if you could name any Romanian prodigies, coming up players in Romania.
Well, now it's DAC, it's first rating in the okay, Rapport will be also, but I don't know when he is, but it's DAC and this is very close to the 2700 mark, so he is definitely the prodigy in Romania.
Okay, I'm just going to tell you a thing about Rapo and connect it to my life. So my brother and I, we actually started my brother. He used to play Tromposki after watching, Richard Rapo's games, and he was amazed. And he started playing Tromposki, and then my brother, kind of, let's say at least at whatever level, he's considered an expert, even versus title players, he somehow gets results. No idea how. So, so the point is, he was such a fan, and then I learned Tromposki because of my brother, and then like you're Rappo fans at the end of the day. So we have a German Shepherd at home, and we have named him Rappo. So that is
Really?
yeah, we've named him Rappo, short and sweet, Rapo. But yeah, that's behind. It's basically for us, it's Richard Rappo.
Nice,
So
nice. And you're still playing the Trompowski.
yes.
Good.
Yeah, it's like as players, we have not really been Okay, my brother and I, we have not really had coaching myself. At least my brother has gone once or twice to some players, to one player, but I've not had ever. So, I mean, if something is working, I'm going to continue playing it, right? I've not had guidance. But yeah, others are just
Sure.
versatile. It's like online, you play anything, right? B3, F3, I'm just saying in general, even the Bonk Cloud. So even in tournaments, whenever I have played, it's like I have played in one tournament. I've had 5, 6, 7 different openings. With white, 5 whites, 5 different openings. 4 blacks, 4 different. Just
Nice,
keep
nice.
trying. Anyway, okay. Coming to openings, like, is there any particular opening you would say you like? I'm not asking you for your secrets here. Just in general, a liking towards any opening.
Um, yeah, well, I like the Nidor, for example. I played it with both colors. I also like this Benoni, although I didn't play it so much, but I really like it. I played more when I was younger, and still playing it in Blitz and Rapid games.
Okay.
So I like these openings, but what I actually play, it's sometimes it's something safer. So over the board games, sometimes I choose these openings that I told you about, but sometimes I just prefer to play something more solid.
Okay. All right. You've been to India earlier. I'll just ask you one last question regarding India. Have you, like, I don't, about Indian food, how did you find Indian food? You must have eaten over here, right? When you've.
I had Indian food. I mean, for me, at least, I have to be careful what I choose because I'm not so much into spicy food. But yeah, it was okay. What I ate was okay, but
I'm mainly
yeah,
asking because of the spice, because a lot of players who come from Europe, they find Indian food really spicy.
yeah,
So,
I think it can be, but I mean, I didn't really taste
all right, because
the real Indian food.
yeah, the reason I asked you is because in Chennai it could be some spice. Delhi, it's not usually that spicy, but there are some places like in Guntur, it's just a neighboring place to Chennai. There you get like one of the chilliest chili in the world. So that place is like really
Wow,
spicy.
I definitely don't want to try that.
Okay. And how is the climate overall in Romania? Like, what are the temperatures and stuff?
uh, well, in summer it's warm. It can get hot, yes, but not like India. I think in India it's
Yeah, it's going to be
much
hot. It's
hotter.
going to be hot. But we have the rainy season coming, so it'll be slightly better. But still, Chennai is on the coast, so that humidity will be there. It's going to be hot. The temperatures in Chennai are usually a lot. And do you plan to go around in India this time, or no? Because I don't know if you've been to the south earlier.
No, no, I've only been to New Delhi. I haven't been to any other part of India. So
Are you
no,
planning to go around? No.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe in the future, who knows? But for now, I just want to go to Chennai. That's my plan. I'll
Okay.
see. I think little by little, with because chess in India is very popular, and there will be uh, many tournaments. So little by little, I will explore more of India.
Yeah, and yeah, there are lots of GM tournaments coming, so we actually really hope. I mean, you can come and play tournaments. Now they've earlier. I mean, some years ago we didn't have too many Grandmaster tournaments in India, so mostly Indians used to go outside to play. But now I think we have a good amount, so we would like to see you here someday for the other Grandmaster tournaments.
Thank you, Nandi.
And yeah, with
We will see.
this, hopefully we can see you. And yeah, I think we will end it over here. We wish you all the very best, and hopefully you and your team can win a medal this Olympiad in Chennai. It will be memorable.
Okay, okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so goodbye, chat. We'll see you in the next stream.
Goodbye.